Trying to lose weight or just need to get a healthy dinner on the table? This 400-calorie, 20-minute chicken dinner is your solution. Let's get started. This recipe for chicken cutlets with sun-dried tomato cream sauce is hands down one of the most delicious recipes ever. It's flavorful, satisfying, and fast, which is exactly what we need at the end of a busy day. We are using quick cooking chicken cutlets in this recipe, and that thinner cut of chicken is really what helps to keep the cook time to 20 minutes. You can find chicken cutlets at your grocery store, or if you can't find them, you can take chicken breasts, cut them horizontally, and that becomes your chicken cutlets. And of course, I couldn't find chicken cutlets at the store, so we're gonna go ahead and cut these into cutlets right now. What I like to do is I like to put a piece of paper towel on top of the chicken breast here, just so my hand doesn't get too slimy. I'm just gonna put some pressure on the chicken breast and then slide my knife in and start cutting horizontally. We had a pound of chicken to start with, 2 breasts. Now we have 4 cutlets at a 1/4 pound each. So this is gonna make 4 servings for dinner, and it's gonna be delicious. I'm gonna pop these chicken cutlets now onto my plate. Okay, and I'm gonna get rid of my dirty cutting board here and get it out of the way. Okay, now we're just gonna salt and pepper our chicken cutlets, both sides. When you're making lifestyle changes, it's important to keep them simple rather than following a strict diet or coming up with a long list of foods you think you shouldn't eat because for whatever reason they're bad. That's overwhelming, right? So let's keep it simple. Focus on making a healthy and delicious 400-calorie dinner every night, and you're well on your way to healthy weight loss. Okay, so we have some sun-dried tomatoes here. They are packed in oil, and this is gonna do double duty because we're gonna use the sun-dried tomatoes, and we're also gonna use the oil to saute our chicken in there so we get so much flavor from just this one ingredient. Okay, so we're just gonna sliver them, which basically means cut them into strands. So just into kind of strips like this, and that works. Okay, so we have our 1/2 cup here of slivered sun-dried tomatoes. So next up, we are chopping some shallots. And shallots are a little milder than your typical onions. And just like an onion, we're gonna peel off the kind of dry outer skin. And to dice this, we're gonna finely dice our shallots. You would do it just like you dice an onion. So I'm gonna start with some horizontal cuts here. And we're gonna go vertical now, down the shallot while keeping this root intact. Now what we can do is we can dice. And the end result are these perfect little shallot cubes. So we are going to take our 1/2 cup of finely chopped shallots and just pop them in another prep bowl. Last but not least, we're gonna do some parsley for the garnish. And we are cooking with wine today, so I'm gonna pop this bottle here. You want a dry white wine, so something like a Chardonnay, which is what I have here, or maybe a Sauvignon Blanc. I'm gonna pop this. All right, now we are all ready. We're gonna head over to the stove, get cooking, and this dinner's gonna be done in no time at all. Okay, so we're gonna get this skillet heating up. We're gonna turn the stove on to medium heat. And we're gonna take our jar of sun-dried tomatoes and the oil that's in there. We're gonna take 1 tablespoon. We're gonna use this flavorful oil to cook the chicken. And once it starts to look kind of shimmery and you can move it easily around in the pan, like that, that's perfect. We're gonna go ahead and add in our chicken. And they need about 3 minutes a side, so 6 minutes total. So it goes really quick with this thinner cut. All right, so these cutlets have been cooking on one side for about 3 minutes, and I can see the bottom part of the chicken's getting a little brown, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip them. And we'll do another 3 minutes on this side. And just to be sure, I'll get out my meat thermometer and we can check to see that they're 165 in the thickest part of the chicken. Okay, so this is my little thermometer. I'll just pop it into one of the chicken pieces here. And 165, so we are good. I'm gonna take these cutlets off the heat and just put them on the plate, and we'll put them to the side for now. Okay, into the same skillet, we're gonna add our sun-dried tomatoes and our shallots. In go our shallots and our lovely sun-dried tomatoes. We're gonna let them cook, stirring every so often. So it's been about a minute, and I can see that those shallots are starting to become a little bit translucent. So now I'm gonna crank up the heat to high, and I'm gonna grab my white wine and add about a half a cup. Just gonna scrape up any of those brown bits, because that's flavor. So we're gonna get all that flavor off of the bottom of the skillet. So it's been about 2 minutes, and you can see that the wine is mostly evaporated. So I'm going to turn the heat back down to medium. And I'm going to stir in my half cup of heavy cream. And then if there's any juices coming off from the chicken, we want to stir that in because that is flavor. One last pinch of salt and a few cranks of pepper. Okay, now that's been simmering for about another 2 minutes, and we're gonna add our chicken back in. And I'm just gonna stir this to get those chicken cutlets nice and coated in our creamy sauce. And that is it. I'm gonna kill the heat, and we're gonna go back over to the counter to serve this up and eat it. Oh man, this looks delicious. Now, to help round out this meal even more and add in a veggie, we are going to serve our creamy chicken cutlets over some cauliflower rice. So we are going to use about a cup. So using cauliflower rice is really great because it adds a serving of veggies to this meal. And while it's not as high in fiber as your brown rice, you still get tons of satisfaction out of this meal. So now I'm gonna pick out a nice chicken cutlet. Use my spoon to get some of this creamy sauce. And then, of course, last but not least, we're gonna top with a little bit of parsley. That adds a nice little fresh green touch. It smells great. Yum. There you have it. Our chicken cutlets with sun-dried tomato cream sauce. It is 400 calories with this cauliflower rice. It's ready in 20 minutes, and it's absolutely delicious. You will not be sorry that you made this dinner. Now I have to dig in. Whoa, that is so good. I would eat this every single night for dinner, no joke. You can get this dinner plus so many other healthy 400 calorie dinners on eatingwell.com. If you make this recipe, be sure to take a photo and add it to Instagram and tag me. Thanks so much for watching. Happy cooking, and I'll see you guys next time on Prep School.